And this one is a cooperative game where players are acting as generals of Rome, trying to lead a conquest to take Hispania into the Roman Empire. And the way this game works is that there's going to be 3 different generals that players are going to be controlling, and then taking actions by spending denarii, which players will be earning each turn. And there is several difficulties offered in this game, so if you want to have a easier or more difficult experience, that's going to adjust the amount of denarii you get and a few other aspects of the game. Between each player's turn, the people of Hispania are also going to be putting up some resistance against the players, and the way that this works is that you're going to be rolling some dice, and this is going to determine the city where a revolt's going to occur. If that city is not already controlled by the players, then you're going to be putting a revolt token there that players are going to have to extinguish later. But if there is already a revolt token there, then you're going to be putting a Hispanic army token. If players ever have to put one of these tokens out on the board and there's none left in the supply, then that is one of the lost conditions of the game. And also for each round, you're going to be taking one of those tokens and then marking it on the round tracker, which means that there's going to be less and less of these tokens as the game goes on, making it more difficult to succeed. But as I said, players are going to be spending denarii on their turn in order to take various actions, and one of those actions is to move their general. And whenever you do that, you're going to be moving to one adjacent space. But something that I really do like about this action is that players can also use a different action in order to construct roads between different locations. And anytime that you do this and create a connection of roads between various cities, you can actually move through an entire connection of roads with one single movement. So being strategic with this can actually save you quite a lot of denarii if you're putting your roads in the right locations. Players can also spend denarii in order to get rid of a revolt token, and they can also spend a denarii in order to build a garrison in a location if there's no revolt in that location. And outside of that, there's no limit on which cities you can build a garrison in, but in order to win the game, you need to build a garrison in each of the province capitals. And things get a little more dicey when you're not only dealing with a revolt, but also with Hispanic forces at that revolt. And in order to get rid of an enemy army token, players actually have to go into battle with that army. And the way that this works is that you're actually going to be rolling dice, and this is going to determine the strength between the opposing forces, but players can of course spend extra denarii in order to increase their force. And also for each garrison that you have adjacent to you when you do go into battle, that will also be adding to your overall strength, so it is in your interest to build the garrisons even outside of trying to complete the end game objective of building them in all the capitals. But the game continues like this, alternating between a player's turn and the Hispanic resistance, and if the players are able to claim all those capitals before either the end of the game or before they run out of revolt tokens and they win the game, otherwise the players lose. And if you do want to learn more about this one, I will have it linked in the description down below, and of course you can click to get notified.